Hello, hello. Happy Monday. It is a Monday morning. Geez, Louise. So I am, look at that. I got like a little light, an extra little sunlight. I'm not used to the extra sunlight. Okay, let me get some more light up in here. How are you? How are you? I was not planning to go live today, actually. I was going to make a recorded video, and then I thought, I don't have time for that. So I thought I'm just going to come on here. I'm going to go live, and I'm retired now, right? So I can do that. So I'm excited to be on a Monday morning. So how are you guys doing on this Monday? We got Belle to the B in here. She says, good morning, Dee Dee and friends. Happy Monday. She says, please like, share, and subscribe as you enter the live stream. We appreciate that. Cookie, how are you? How are you, Cookie? How was that wedding? How was the wedding? How about that? We have the Teddy D. He says, good morning, Dee Dee and everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Elizabeth, how are you? Good morning, Dee Dee and friends. How are you? Is that your dog in the pic? Oh, my daughter would love that. Bellflower, how are you, my twin? How are you? Good to see you guys. Okay, so I'm going to just get started, and then we can chat about whatever you guys want to. First of all, I want to tell you guys, I am not a coffee nista, but I'm learning to embrace coffee. And, that was one of the things that my mom was I don't know what's the word is, consistent. She loved her coffee. Every morning she would drink coffee, and I would drink water. How about that? So she loved the coffee. I love the water with a squeeze of lemon in it. So I have my water here, but it has electrolytes in it. So it doesn't have that squeeze of lemon. But I have my coffee, and look at this coffee mug. And this is courtesy of Cookie, even though she doesn't know that it is. Cookie, how are you? Let me show you. I gotta get this banner off. Where is it at? Tag. Geez, Louise. Okay. So here is the cup. It's the Chicago cup. I got this while I was in Chicago at the Dee Dee's meetup. So if you go on my community posts or any of my short videos, if they don't come up in your recommendations and all that, go to my community posts and you'll see all the lovely ladies that I was, had the pleasure and the honor of meeting up with. And then you will see some pictures. The only thing is, I don't want this to be like a political, it's not that I don't want it to be a political channel. It's not a political channel, but we did visit the Obama Center, life-changing. Gosh, it just made me think like, I just want to like spread love in the world and do something. Like, I feel like I need to do something with my life. Like that's beyond, and maybe I am, because I'm coming on here trying to motivate and help people. Now that I'm not a teacher, and I don't want to be a teacher again. I don't want to be in anything in education, but that's where I feel like I made my mark in life. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to those gates of heaven, I think like God's going to say, job well done. But I don't have to hang that up at 53, going on 54. So I'm trying to think, what is the next thing for me? And I was like, I ain't doing anything else. When I went to that Obama Center, I felt like I should be doing more. I felt like I could do even more. So there's that. So I want to talk a little bit about that on Wednesday when I celebrate my birthday. Because I think to still thrive in the world, you got to have a purpose, and it has to be beyond just you being the fabulous you, right? It has to be something else that kind of motivates you beyond just like your inner circle. I think helping the greater person is a good thing. But anyway, there's that. So I said all that to say, cheers to Chicago. Here we go, Chicago. So I just kind of spilled this. So I normally have like all kind of everything I need is right here, but I cleaned, organized, dusted my little area, and I got rid of my paper towel. How about that? So I just dropped my daughter off. I wasn't expecting to make it to this live stream. One of the things that I said to myself is I don't want to be 5 minutes late getting on my live streams when I, go live. And that's because I respect people's time. And my friends have taught me to be late. I have some friends that are late. I got two that are like my dad and how my mom was. They're early, right? They're early. And so, I don't ever want to be more than 5 minutes late. So I was in traffic at 9:27. Almost home. It was something going on, and I thought I do not want to be late here. So I made it. I made it. I made it in time. I was able to use the bathroom, come in here. I had my coffee already made. I was able to add my Profi concoction to it. So I added my little Fairlife, to the coffee. So I don't really like black coffee, but I could drink it. I don't really like coffee. I'm learning to like coffee. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, so yeah, so I got my little Chicago situation. One of the things I'm trying to decide is if I'm going to take my daughter back to Chicago. She was so bummed out. She didn't meet the ladies. But when she got back and got all her little gifts, like I got her some things, Purple Bellflower got her some things, her godmother got her some things. So it's like she went on a mini shopping spree. She didn't even go to Chicago, right? So I'm planning, I might take her back. So I just kind of have to see like what I'm gonna do because I have a lot of things to do with my little money, honey. So I'll talk about that more too on Wednesday's live. But yeah, so I'm for sure getting a computer, for sure getting maybe a microphone, like some things like that. I'm for sure I got to do a remodel on my second bathroom in my house. I have to, all this I had planned to do, but I didn't plan to go back to Chicago. So I have to see, and it's expensive. It's not cheap. And really, we're going back to if I take her back, we want to go to the Hello Kitty Cafe. We want to go shopping. She's a girly girl. And we want to go she wants to go to Papa Do's, my favorite restaurant. She wants to have the shrimp I had. She loves shrimp too. So I'm trying to decide that, yeah, I'm remodeling my bathroom, but something simple. This is the second bathroom. And I think I want to refresh my bathroom. So yeah, and that's gonna cost some dollars. But I've kind of been saving for it. Then I remember I'm thinking about getting braces and Invisalign. I'm like thinking I want to do all these things. I should have kept my high paying job. But whatever, I'll figure it out. So geez Louise. But anyway, that's why I say I guess that's why I don't stay mad for so long, because I'm just too blessed to be stressed. How about that? It keeps it moving, truly. Okay, so this is another thing too. When I went to drop my daughter off, it's so funny. There was a lady with a nanny it was a nanny taking one of the kids in. I don't go in like after the first couple days. My daughter's like, Mom, I don't want you to go in. So she has been out of the camp for 2 weeks. And so I walked into the camp with her and she was so annoyed. Well, first she was annoyed, but then it's her week for a snack. I think she takes a snack on Wednesday. So I took it today. It was popsicles. So she wanted me to carry the popsicles. I said, no. You carry the popsicles yourself. You said you wanted to walk in here by yourself. So pretend like I'm not next to you. So I made her carry those popsicles in. And it was so nice that when she walked in, all the kids, remember she's been on a 2-week break, they were walking up to her, some of the counselors, and they were like, oh, we missed you. Oh, we're so glad you're back. Where have you been? I know she felt so good. So being a teacher, I know how that is. So that's why when I start my live streams, I'm starting at 9:35 or whatever. 5 minutes late is my goal, not to go over. I don't care who's here, right? We're not waiting for anybody because everybody's important. When school starts, we don't wait for the popular kid to get to the classroom. We start, right? So that's how I like to conduct my live streams. And I like everybody to feel special. And you know what? If you fall out with me, I didn't fall out with you. So you're welcome back anytime you want to come on back in, my friend. So let's talk about what we're here for. Wait a minute. I see a couple more people that have come in the chat. Who is this? Okay, I see some. Kim, how are you? She says, good morning, Dee Dee and friends. Okay. You said you're making iced coffee with chocolate protein, a chocolate protein shake. Cheers to us. Elizabeth, cheers. I love that. Your brother got married. Wow. Okay, I have to go back and read that. And stop all that retirement showing up. Just wait till I really feel retired. I don't really feel retired actually right now, but because it, it's just is what it is. But it'll get to that. So okay, so we got Wanda. Hey Wanda. Hey Tammy's in the house. How are you, Tammy? We got the real MVP. I realize people are probably working too, so so that's I get that. So thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. You said that center has you questioning your life choices. So much more to do, give, loved it. Yes, it does. It motivated me. You have a great purpose raising that beautiful daughter of yours. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. And it's so funny because I was saying something the other day about not wanting her to hear curse words and stuff, and that's why I filter down what I watch on my on my YouTube. I watch YouTube, but I have to have my earphones in, and I don't really like the radiation from earphones. I don't care if it's 1 PCU or 15, whatever the frequency is. I don't want any of it. But I'm forced to do that because a lot of things that are on TV, I don't want my daughter to see. And and somebody, I know people will say, well, she listens to it out in the street. And I use this example, and this was a good one. And I said to Mel, when I'm thinking about when people make those comments like, oh, well, they're going to hear it no matter where they go. Yeah, but she's going to see probably people getting beat up and abused out in the street. But should she see that in my household? No. So it's the same thing. Stop trying to justify like I'm justifying eating this birthday cake tomorrow. Stop trying to justify the wrong thing, and let's focus on the right things to do with kids, right? We're always trying to focus on the wrong stuff. Jeez, Louise, you notice how I snuck in? I'm about to eat this birthday cake. I'm about to eat the birthday cake. Eat the cake. Shawnee, is she in here? When I had a post about thanking God, this is not a religious channel either, but you do have a religious person. I won't call myself religious, but I definitely have a great relationship with God. And when I say religious, because, I'm not so big on necessarily being in a church, even though I have a church home. I haven't been in a while. But, I just try to practice, I want people to say like, gosh, Dee Dee says she's a Christian. And you say, yeah, I can see that. If somebody says I'm a Christian and you're like, what? I'm doing something wrong. So I'm not one of those people that's going to be every other word I say, because I feel like the people who do that are the ones that don't necessarily live up to that when you really get to know them. And I don't, that's just not me. I don't want to do that, but anyway, so Shawnee, she posted on my community post about how she's grateful to God for, giving her time with her son and just the future. And I forget how it went, but it was beautiful. It touched my heart. And I just think like, that's where it is, the kids, right? It's like, we're all adults now. We've made so many mistakes. We'll make even more mistakes. And I think we have to teach the kids that, it's so funny because people say, you are so forgiving. You just need to keep it moving. Well, I kind of want my daughter to be forgiving too. So it's, she looks at everything I'm doing. You see her, if you know her behind the scenes, I'm wearing glasses. She wants glasses. It's like, I'm eating healthy. She wants to eat healthy. If I eat garbage food, she wants to eat the garbage food. So it's like you have somebody that's watching you so closely. You need to be making the right choices. And it's not easy because we're set in our ways at this point. And I'm a reformed person. In my younger days, my fuse was not this long. Like my fuse was a short fuse. But my friends have always told me I lead with my heart, and I need to stop doing that and lead more with like what my gut is telling me, which is, to go away from A, B, and C. And so, and I always say, if I'm too nice, I could go to sleep and sleep comfortably versus having an attitude and being mean and nasty and all that, and then wake up regretting it or thinking about it at night. Like, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? And I've had those nights where I've done that and I don't want to do that. So there's that. All right. So anyway, let me get to the topic because I want to tell you guys. So, I was on 12.5. I don't know. Now, losing Grace, gosh, she keeps up with everything. She knows I need to hit her up and ask her, how long have I been on 12.5? Because at some point I got so busy that I stopped taking meticulous notes. Like, but I have like a video journal and I weigh myself and screenshot it. So I kind of have that. So I need to go back and plug that data in. But I was on 12.5, was having a little bit of food noise. I call it cravings. Food noise is always thinking about food, wanting food. It's on your mind. No matter what you're doing, you're thinking about it, you're planning it. It's just all encompassing in your thoughts. So I wouldn't say I had food noise, maybe a little bit here and there, but my daughter has snacks. So like when she wasn't in camp for 2 weeks, we didn't have really snacks around the house. Now that she's started back at camp, we have to pack a lunch. So she has her little snacks. We're not buying fruit now because of this virus that's out there. So she came back from her godmother with a bowl of pineapples, and I couldn't resist. But those pineapples are fine because I haven't gotten sick, so I could eat those. She hasn't really wanted those pineapples. So she has these snacks, and I thought, oh my, okay, I see the snacks, and I want to eat the snack, right? Before, when I first started my GLP-1 journey, I didn't even want to eat the snack. It could just sit with me. It could get in the bed with me. It could unwrap itself and put itself in my hand, and I still wouldn't eat it. Now I'm feeling like, okay, since you're here, I can eat it. And that's how I started feeling on the 12.5. And so I went up to 15. And, I talked about that. I didn't talk about it to anybody when I first went on it, because I'm on here making content too. So I just kind of want things to be, even though people talk to me behind the scenes, like I want things to be like new and fresh for you too. And I don't want people to start putting in my ear, you should do this, you should do that. I don't want that. So in order not to get that, you just don't tell, right? So I don't say anything. So when I started taking the 15, I talked to my doctor. We went up. She only wrote one prescription, right? Normally I get my prescriptions for every 3 months. I get 3 months at a time. So this time I only got the one box. Really, it was just to see like how I would do on the 15, if it would be too much where I couldn't eat, which happened to me when I started 12.5. And, so those sort of things, just to kind of test it out. So then I go to refill my prescription and they were like, oh, there's an issue. So this leads up to the DD's meetup. I'm like, well, what's the issue? Before, the DD's meetup, I was like, well, what's the issue? And so they were like, well, your doctor didn't authorize it. And I'm like, okay. So then that's when I realized she only did the one box, right? So I'm like, no problem. I contact my doctor, we correspond written first, unless I need to actually talk to her. But most of the time, everything I need before my next visit, we, email back and forth, like through this My Chart. So I'm emailing, talking to her, and so she didn't respond. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, I've never heard that, that never had that experience. So I'm thinking something that's going on with her. So I called the office and they were like, oh, I left a message, this the system, I left a message. And so then it seem like that it was processed. So then I, called to pick it up, and then it still was like a delay. So I'm like, what is going on? Well, then I really couldn't get too much into it because I'm headed out of town, right? I'm headed to the DD's meetup. So I was like, well, what do I do? So guess what I did? I had some 12.5. So I took that. So I ended up having to take that to go back down to the 12.5. And so that was what I had on the meetup. So if anybody was on that meetup and they didn't, you never heard me complain about being tired and dragging and not feeling fatigue or whatever. Well, first of all, I would have taken it on a Sunday. So by the time Thursday came, I would have probably been fine. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I had taken that 12.5. The 15 was delayed. So I was like, what is going on? So then I thought, well, when am I going to get the medication? So I knew I had a 12.5, but I said to the pharmacist, like, well, what do you do if you need your medication? Like, I try to make it seem like I was like in panic mode. And she was like, well, ma'am, you could call the office. We've tried to call, they were very nice, try to work me through it. So go to the meetup, come back. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to go on my little app. Now it's authorized. It's still not authorized. I'm like, what? So they said, it was a delay with still my doctor. So, which is like, what is going on? So my dad had a doctor's appointment the day after I got back from the meetup, which was, I believe, a Tuesday. I got back on a Monday. We had an appointment on the Tuesday. Well, he has the same doctor as I do. So the guy who orders the assistant who orders everything, and he takes your blood pressure, and he kind of checks you in. He said, I ended up calling the pharmacy. I'm calling this pharmacist right here because I see they had said in my records that they had put in the prescription. Now I still don't know. I think she put in, I don't know if she put in 3 months worth or not. That I did not check and see. So I go and I've stepped out when my dad was on the table when she's looking him over, and I called the pharmacy. I was on hold for a long time. Finally, when the doctor comes in, then they answer, right? So I had to step out. Well, the assistant overheard me talking about this to the pharmacy and said, I put that in on June whatever, which I saw that they had. So he said they dropped the ball. They say he dropped the ball. I don't know who dropped the ball, but my 15 milligrams was finally ordered. But now this is the dilemma. When I was on 12 and a half, remember I was on there even through my Dee Dee's meetup. Baby, how are you? I just saw you popped in here. I got to congratulate you on your 4K subscribers. So I'm going to do that before I don't know if you'll leave here or not. Go back and watch it because I know people are working. But congratulations. I just love that. Okay, so I don't know if I should stay on the 12.5 or if I should go back to the 15, because even though, remember, all that was happening on the 12.5 where I could eat stuff and had food noise and all of that stuff came back, I felt good on that 12.5. So now I was like, what should I do? I got this 15. Should I take it or should I go back to the 12.5? Well, what do you guys think I did? Because I took an injection last night. So do you think I took the 12.5 or do you think I took the 15? What do you guys think? Here, what would you do? So should I stay with that 12.5, even though I was feeling good? Not really. I don't, on the Dee Dee's meetup, I think I, was eating, like I was eating a lot of the stuff I should eat, right? I was eating that. We had omelets. We were making those omelets. I had my omelets. Now I had I put cheese in it. And I was doing that because the little protein boost. But on my omelet, I get cheese, I get grilled peppers and onions and spinach. And man, they were putting a lot of spinach up in there. I felt like Papa the Sailor Man. So we really ate pretty good. I would say what I shouldn't have eaten, which was something fried, which was fried shrimp at my favorite restaurant, which is Papados. So, but other than that, and then we had Mel couldn't eat hers, but we had a fish sandwich that was, it was very good. It had a bunch of coleslaw on it. And so, so that was the last 2 days that I was there. But before that, I was pretty much, just eating pretty decent, but I wasn't tired. My appetite was, reasonably suppressed. And so I thought to myself, like, maybe I needed that little bit of time off of 12.5 and I could go back. So I don't know. But what do you guys think I did? What would you do? Okay, so people are saying, reset with Anissa. How are you? And then I saw, boss lady in the house. How are you? Okay. So let's see what people are saying. 12.5. 12.5. Jeez Louise. 12.5. Okay, so you said I went to 15, you went back to 12.5, and it's been working out fine, thank God. Yes. Oh, Cookie, it was good. It was some little restaurant that our concierge lady picked out for us. It was very tasty. Mel wasn't feeling so hot, so she didn't eat a lot of hers, but I ate all mine, honey. It was good. Except for the fish was huge, the piece of fish, so I didn't eat the whole piece of fish. I kind of cut it off where the sandwich cut off, but it was yummy. So, Grant, how are you? Okay, so Mel says 12.5. Okay, so this is what I did last night because of all the stuff I went through to get that 15. I took the 15. I did. I took the 15. I thought, should I just take this 12.5? I think I might have. I need to go in there and look because I might have maybe another box and two. I think I have a whole box and maybe a one out of the, the three of the four. So I have enough. So I'm gonna go look and see like what I have. Because yeah, it's like so now I know if I go back down to 12.5, I could really do it. So, but I didn't skip a dose, because some people were saying, oh, maybe you should just not take it until you get to 15. And maybe you should not take it until you get to 15. Not anybody I talked to. I was just looking on like Reddit and blog posts, and I don't really go on there, but I just kind of was seeing what the folks do. And yeah, people were saying, oh, I would have skipped the dose and just, taking it when I come back. But, my thing is when I'm on vacation, life goes on as normal. I'm not taking an injection, especially because it's just going to have you eat more. And just, I feel like you're going to go, I love to say this, balls to the wall. So I'm taking my injection even on vacation. I'm always going to do that. And, when you move to so on 15 now, I kind of do, especially because I'm not working over the summer. I kind of don't really eat till like 10 or 11. If my daughter wasn't here and hungry, I probably wouldn't eat till like 1 or 2 o'clock. But I eat because my daughter's here. So yesterday I got up, I made her some pancakes, I made eggs, and I made what else? Pancakes, eggs, and turkey sausage. And for myself, I made my pancakes, protein pancakes. I had eggs and I had turkey sausage, but I had more turkey sausage than anything. And I ate that sausage. I mean, not the sausage, it was turkey bacon. I ate the turkey bacon first, and then I ate the eggs, and then I had whatever was left I could eat. I had those protein pancakes. Those protein pancakes, I'll show what I eat one day. Those protein pancakes I did not make from scratch, right? So I didn't add protein powder or whatever people do to make them protein, but they were pretty yummy. So, but my daughter, so I got up and cooked for her. That was yesterday morning. Now, I wouldn't have done that if she wasn't here, or I had to cook for her. I wouldn't have. So when I finish here, I'm going to do some work on YouTube, and then I'll probably eat around noon. I won't eat till then. And coffee kind of zaps my appetite. Cheers to that. Okay, so when you move down to a lower dose, for people who are asking, I know people lower their dose when the side effects are too much or the food suppression is too much that they can't eat. People will go down to a lower dose, and I'm saying, geez, maybe my body did need that 12 and a half break. So don't be shocked if you see me one day and say, hey, like I went back down to 12.5, because I feel like saving that higher dose, in my opinion, for me, is like an extra tool in my tool belt when I just get maxed out and can't lose anything. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is doing a little factory reset here. This is my birthday month. And, it's a birthday. I celebrate all birthdays. You guys know I love to celebrate birthdays, but I also, celebrate my birthday without my mom, without my dad, without my grandmother. I always think of that. That always kind of saddens me. And then I don't really have a desire to eat anything. My dad wants to know, where do you want to go out to dinner? I don't really have a place I want to go. My daughter's like, we got to get a birthday cake. So I just ordered a cake last night, because that's the thing. Yeah, having a cake. But I don't even have a desire to do it, all of that, to eat all that. I just don't. So I love that. All right. So we'll see how it goes. I might go to a restaurant and just take whatever I order home and then eat it over the course of the few days. But it's a great problem to have, right? That I'm not trying to eat everything in sight for my birthday. So I have 60 to 70 more pounds to go. So I got to get it moving. So yeah, so there's that, but the thing of it is I say 60 to 70 pounds. I don't know. I don't want to look like one of those people that is slimmed down so much that I look older, because what I have going for me right now is I don't look 54. I'll take that and run with it. When I went to drop my daughter off today, when I walked in, I walked her in because she hadn't been there in 2 weeks. I was saying this earlier. One of the things that it was a lady going in, and she was like, oh my gosh, She was like, how did you get your hair looking so fabulous this early in the morning? And I said, well, thank you. I have a meeting to go to, which was this, right? I told her I had a meeting to go to. And so I said, so that's why, I'm going to look presentable. But actually, I will go out of the house with my hair not looking halfway decent. If it doesn't, I put on a hat. And you guys know my little downsizing diva situation. So yeah, there is that. So yeah, so that's it. That was what happened to me. So then another thing too is once the doctor approved it, then it was a delay from Walgreens talking about, what were they saying? That they had to check with my insurance. It was the delay. Now, this is one of the cool things that I don't think I talked about. I retired, so I'm on a different insurance. And now that I'm on a different insurance, I was paying a $25, to get my Mounjaro, and then it went up. And when I ordered a 3-month supply, I was like, wouldn't it be cheaper if you're ordering a 3-month supply because they know you're locked in? But it wasn't. It went from being $25 a pay, a box, which was $75, to being $120, right? So I was like, what is up with that? So that went up, but our insurance kind of changed a little bit. Every year they do that open enrollment, and our insurance, when I was working, changed a little bit. So now that I'm retired, the medication is so cheap. I'm not even going to say how cheap it is. And I just thank God, I just really thank God because, not for nothing, I was making a nice, pretty penny being a teacher for 32 years. And, I got a nice pension, but I'm not making that same full pay that I was making before. And one of the things in the pension, it takes right off the top. Like, I thought I had to pay for my premium, my little insurance and my vision and dental and all that. But honey, they take it out before you even see it. So it's nice, right? Because they're like, we're going to get our money. We know you're getting older. You're going to be in this, getting these hospital services. So I like that because they take it out. You don't even have to think about it. But that was one of the benefits that I'm getting so far, is that my medication is, again, it's so inexpensive. I don't even want to say. I just thank God. I feel blessed. And so, I have 60 more pounds to go 70. I might not go 60 or 70. I can't imagine myself being that small where I don't look good. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, maybe I will. I guess what I'm saying is, I've always had my goal out of that overweight category and normal, what they considered normal, just to see it on paper. Now I could just do that for a day and I'll be satisfied. I don't have to stay there and wallow in it, but I just want to be in the normal range for once in my whole life. I don't know if I've ever not been in the normal range. I'm going to show some other pictures. You come to my live stream on Wednesday. We're going to be celebrating my birthday. And I'm going to show some pictures when I was just heavy, honey, heavier than what you've seen. I haven't showed a lot of other pictures because I wasn't taking a lot of pictures. But some of these pictures I've stumbled across, and you'll see how heavy I really was at some point. And I'll share what led up to that, because when you gain weight like that, it's not just because you love eating. I don't think so for me, but for most people, it's not just because you love eating junk food, and junk food is addictive. A lot of times it's emotions tied into that weight gain for whatever reason, especially if you have the disease of obesity or have developed that. So I realize that. And that's one of the things I'm going through is the emotions of it all. This is probably should be the best month, but it's the month I drink. I'm going to share that too on Wednesday. Some things was a fact I didn't share about myself yet that I'm going to share on Wednesday. So join me on Wednesday at 8:30. I'm going to be talking about my little birthday celebration. So there's that. So I don't know what I'll end up doing, but I just know I got to kind of step it up here. I go back to my doctor in September, and every time I see her, she's like, "You look great," which is a nice compliment. But I look great with my fat thighs, my fat belly, and these big old arms, and I'm loving all of it, right? But it does need to slim down. I do realize that. Now, all my labs and stuff are all great, so that's good too. But the reality of it is, I'm still in the obese category, and I don't want to be obese. And remember, I'm also saying, I kind of want to be, not kind of, I am a role model for my daughter, and I want her to see like a healthy person and how a healthy person looks from the inside and out. So, and now I'm getting healthy on the inside. Now I need to be healthy on the outside too. So those insides to me are the most important, but I also need to be healthy on the outside. So dropping that weight. So again, I might dip my toe if I can get to that one in the 140s. But if I can get to, a weight where I'm happy and I say, I'm not trying to go down any further, that's what I'm going to do. I think you just kind of have to do what fits you, like what feels good for you. So that's kind of what I want to do. All right. So, let's see. So I see a person in here. Wait a minute. I see some more people. Oh, hello. Somebody's first live. It's my first live. Quick question. I'm a vegetarian, so it's extremely hard to meet the protein goals. Do you have any helpful tips other than just drink shakes all day? Because I'm over that. Are you drinking? So you're drinking the vegetarian shakes? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to refer you to somebody too, but I'm going to tell you, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to tell you, are you eating, because I don't want to send you to the processed stuff, right? But I know people eat tofu. Have you ever had that SoFi? I go to Chipotle. I used to go to Chipotle a lot. I put Chipotle on hold. I haven't been to Chipotle because that outbreak, and I like those peppers and onions and stuff. I was like, I don't know, they cook them, so that's a great thing, right? It's not raw. But I've given Chipotle a little bit of a break. But they have that. Is it Sofritos? You could make something like that. I'm trying to think what else is protein. Because for a month, you got to go watch this video. For a month, around Lent time. It wasn't around Lent time. It was for Lent. Last year, I gave up animal products, right? And I just was eating like a vegetarian vegan. And I ended up losing 9 pounds in a month. That's probably one of the highest months of weight loss. I think the highest month of weight loss I had. I ate a lot of beans. So I make this bean dip. So you have to go onto my playlist, and I have some recipes. And some of those, I make a good bean chili, a 3-bean chili. Doesn't have any animal products in it. I love that. My daughter loves that. I make a bean dip. I'm going to be taking this bean dip to an event I'm going to next week. So those are some of the things. But I don't know if you know who Simply Taisha is. I don't know if Bellflower, if you could put her, because I don't know if Mel's in here. I don't know if you're working and could do it, but her, or maybe even Cookie could do it. Simply Taisha's handle in the chat, because she's a vegan. And so you could follow her too. She's cooking and everything on there. So I think that would be helpful for you to connect with her as well. Yeah, so Simply Taisha, I'm going to text her. She's busy. Maybe if she's not busy, she could jump on this live. So yeah, so that'd be nice. I love that. Somebody who is like, I'm trying to eat protein, but I don't know what to do. And I'm one of those people, I don't know about you guys, but I can eat the same stuff over and over. When I don't eat the same stuff, which I'm in that phase now where I'm not eating the same stuff, I'm eating different things. I'm eating out more than normal. I don't do well. Right? I do well when I can rinse and repeat my food. And so I meal prep. That's what I'm going to eat for the week. It is what it is, and I meal prep enough for 4, maybe 5 days. And then on the weekends, that's when I will, eat like a turkey burger. I'll eat something I wouldn't normally eat, like fish sticks, like, something like that. Like I'll eat something like that is more of like not meal prepped, and usually I'm doing something with my daughter, like having a treat. I talked about this in my latest video. I need to give up that weekend snacking with my daughter. And I don't do it for the whole weekend, but I do it enough where I think now that I'm going to have to pull back from that because I'm trying to reach a goal, right? And it worked until it doesn't. It's like anything else. I think your body gets used to like a certain thing and you kind of have to switch it up. All right. So, okay. Thank you. You put Bellflower, put her Taisha. So did you see that? The young lady that was asking about veganism, One Fly Lady Smith. I love the name. Okay, let me see if Taisha is busy. I'm gonna have her come on up in here. She's not. She might be busy. She's retired too. Uh, let me see. I'm gonna call her. How about that? I'm not gonna tell her she's on the live stream. Don't you guys tell her. Simply Taisha. Okay. All right. Voicemail. Oh, I'm on voicemail. Okay, I'm gonna send her a message. Okay. All right. So we gotta get the expert up in here. Hold on. All right. Look who's back. Back again. Beverly, how are you, Bev? What is going on, Bev, my friend? She says, Dee Dee and Chad working, but listening, haven't been on in a while. Oh, I know. Life is so busy. I get it. I get it. Nancy, how are you, Nancy? What is going on? Okay, so here is Taisha's YouTube handle. I hope the vegetarian vegan lady saw that. We got she's saying hello to people. Reset with the Nissa says, can't wait to join you and Taisha with the retirement crew. Yes, the retirement crew. Yes, we have to talk about that retirement. I just love it. Boss lady says, I can too, Dee Dee, eat the same stuff over and over. Yeah, that's what is helpful for me. But well, you have to do what you're gonna do. Congratulations on your retirement. I didn't think I told you that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so excited to be retired. Beverly is always just looking good. You're changing that profile pic. Look at fabulous. I love that. Okay. Oh, she says at Starchy Shauna eats whole foods, plant-based. Okay, I never heard of Starchy Shauna. Okay, thanks for sharing. Are you you must, Nancy, be a whole foods vegetarian-based person too. I love that. My daughter and I have been contemplating. We've been saying we're going to give up meat since the summer started. We haven't done it yet. I just felt so much better. It's just though it made my A1C go up. Do you remember that? That was one of the reasons. I'm sure because I was loading up on those carbs. Even though they were like the healthier carbs, I wasn't eating like French fries and just junk food. I was eating like quinoa. I was eating brown rice. I was eating a lot of beans. A lot of beans. So, and I didn't have gas because I take Beano. Beano works for me. Now, it might not work for you, but when I take Beano before I eat beans, it works for me. When you mention retirement, I'm so jealous. I know I should even pray for me, girl. No, I get it. I get it. When I used to hear people were retired too, I was like, dang, I can't wait till I could do that. And just, yeah. So I get it. I totally get it. You said I could eat the same junk foods over and over again. Yes, me too. It's just crazy, right? And so, and for me, this medication is a tool, but I think because I'm over 2 years in, I really do have a philosophy. And I believe, now you could guys help me out. Does anybody know this? Who do you guys, I've been asking this question. Nobody has given me a name yet. So who has been taking the GLP-1 for over 2 years and still has weight to lose like me? Because most of the people I see that are at their weight goal, they've done it within the 2 years, but I'm past the 2 years. So who have you seen that has lost and got their goal past the 2 years? I would love to know who those people are because I need to be talking to those folks. Because for me, it's going on 2 years and I still have, I say, if this is quarters, I am in the, and it has to be somebody similar to me, right? And I want to say that, like, they could be on Zepbound because I'm on Mounjaro for being diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, but they have to be not on, somebody who is kind of similar to me. Like, this is the only two. I've never taken a medication besides this. I've never taken fat burners or anything. I've never had, a surgery or anything like that. So somebody that's similar to me in that way. So do we have somebody in the house? You say, oh, where's my Ruby Woo? I don't know. Maybe I'll wear it on my birthday, but I like that. I like that. lipstick, and I gave everybody some Ruby Woo who came to my meetup, and Mayor Mindy had hers on yesterday. And when I tell you, I hope she wears it where you guys can see her. When I tell you she looks good, I'm not saying that to be nice or like, oh, just to say it. And I don't really do that. But yeah, she is. Yeah. Okay. So she looks good. So I'm going to have to text Mindy because I want to know if she has that. She wore it and her husband saw it because, I mean, she looked good. Okay. So you said you met your goal, but you need to get to. Okay. All right. So, okay. So you set another goal. I'm still overweight. Okay. Very good. Oh, just Sherry. Hello. Look at you. Looking all fabulous. Okay. I'll be approaching my 2-year in October, and I'm not nearly close to my goal yet. Frustrating. Okay. Yeah. And it is frustrating, but that's okay. We're going to get there. So, okay. So I guess not to their goal. I should say where they're, so even, well, because I shouldn't have said your goal, because your goal could be like when I first started, my goal was 175. That's the weight I remember being. And when I was 175, I remember I used to walk in. Maybe I'll show you. I wasn't 175 on this picture, but I would walk in, and in my mind, that song would be playing. She's a brick, dun dun dun, house, dun 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 dun. She's mighty mighty. She's letting it all hang out. She's a brick. That's how I felt when I was in the 170s. So in my mind, I want to get back to that. But then I thought, I might still be obese at 170. I don't want to be obese. So that's what made me start thinking about the categories. But, you know, and I'm not one of those people. I know people are like, I can't stand BMI. I hate the BMI of it all. Yeah, I'm not that dedicated to the titles and, you know, putting labels on things or whatever. But I'm going to see that right on my chart. I'm going to see that when I go to the doctor. You know, the doctor might say you're obese, but when you get that summary, it's going to say that. So I want to get the summary that says like I am in the normal range. So that's just a little thing. Like I said, I could dip my toe in it for one time and that's it. And I will be good with that. And you know, I'm never, you know, I don't know, the fabulous Mel B. Mel B has just a nice shape, but she's a little lady. She reminds me of my mom, small, petite. It has her little muscles in all the right places. You know, every woman is going to have something where they don't love about themselves or they want to work on. But I'm never going to be a small, petite person. I believe that. And if I'm small and petite, you guys are going to be saying, Dee Dee, you need to lose weight. People are going to gain some weight. People are going to be emailing me probably saying, no, honey, you need to put some weight back on. So I realized that's not for me. So let me change that, Harjarine boss lady, because, and, you know, go check out Harjarine's channel. Now that I'm thinking about it, Harjarine, the boss lady, is over there making some fabulous music on her channel. You're the AI music queen up in here. So Harjarine, so I would use you as an example because because that's your own personal goal, right? I'm saying like, who has met the goal of getting down to like where your BMI should be, like within those 2 years? Because a lot of people, it's people who I see who say, oh, I'm in maintenance. And I know for a fact, well, I don't know for a fact. So let me not say that. I know I'm pretty confident. Like I bet a couple $100 on it that they are still overweight and possibly obese, but they say they're in maintenance. So there's that. I mean, so anybody could put themselves in maintenance. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Some people want to be curvy. Some people want to have hips, thighs, butt, all that. So I get it, especially if, you know, in the African American community, I'm telling you, a lot of the guys like you to be, have some goods, right? Like they like a backside, they like boobs, and not for nothing, you don't have to be a black man. I love that. So, but and then some men who like women too. Like there's some men who won't date somebody my size. My brother is probably one of them. He won't date somebody that's my size. He likes a small petite thing. And I think that that's okay. Everybody has a preference. It's not to say one is better than the other, right? It's so funny. There was somebody on my in my comments. They didn't say it to me, but they said it to somebody in the comments. I was thinking, geez, Louise, this lady was saying, like, I'm fine with going, slow and steady, slow, normal and steady. And this person wrote in the comment, why did you do that, person? You know who you are. They wrote in the comments, like, well, yeah, you have to be fine with going slow and steady because that's what you're doing. It tickled me, but I'm pretty sure it ticked that lady off, right? And it tickled me, but it's so true. Like, why would I be on here talking about fast weight loss when I'm not losing fast? It just doesn't make sense. Like, why? I can't relate to that. And I always say that. So I've known some people who have gotten offended and came on my channel and try to defend losing fast. Don't do that. This is no knock against you. I'm just talking about what I'm doing. Like, if you're that bothered by it, just don't comment, because this, it's like, don't comment. But the fast people, I want them here because we can learn from you, right? We can learn from what you did, what your weight, what you were doing. Plus, I just want to hear your story. Your story is so valuable. It's other people that watch that might click on something to see it. But of course, I'm catering to that crowd because that's me, right? So when they said that, it tickled me, and that lady was not happy. But I mean, it's true. It's like, why not be happy, okay with it? It's people that are miserable. And if you're paying a bunch of money, not for nothing, for this medication, and you're not losing, you should be ticked off. I would be ticked off, and I would want it to go faster. But for some of our bodies, it's not going to happen. And people could be doing everything right. A lot of times when people aren't losing, we assume that they're not doing everything right. Well, nobody's going to do everything perfectly. I just don't believe it. I don't believe most people are doing all the things all the time. I believe most people are probably doing all the things 80% of the time, dare I say 75% of the time. Now, you have your fanatics that are out there doing it 100% of the time. Usually those people have a goal to meet for whatever reason. And then when they get to their goal, are they maintaining it? And the ones that are maintaining it, guess what? They're making content about it, or it's a lifestyle where they're getting paid for it. So there's that. And I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. If you're that exception, give yourself a pat on the back. But for me, I'm not going to talk about fast weight loss because I've never really experienced the fast weight loss. Now, I will say, I take that back. I was in the boot camp. If you ever go to my old videos, you'll see it's a boot camp. I talk about it a lot. On my first live stream, I remember I played that last week. I talked about this boot camp. I probably lost 50 pounds in 6 months, or did I lose 50 pounds in 5 months? But it was strict. We exercised 3 times a week, which was good. It was all cardio though, no strength training. But we ate just pretty much, you ate meat and veggies, and the carbs you ate, you couldn't even really eat fruit. And I did that for as long as I could. And even with that program, I thought, I'm a carb girl. And I thought, I'm about to eat some carbs. I don't care what this lady says. I don't care what her boot camp is. But I couldn't write it down because we had to keep a journal of what we were eating. So I joined Weight Watchers, and I thought, I'm still going to lose weight. Now, remember, I was dropping so fast, like 1 to 2 to 2.5, almost 3 pounds some weeks. And I don't even think I was in there dropping a point like I am now, 0.5, 0.2. I was dropping because it was fast, right? Now, it didn't last, obviously, right? That's one of the things that research says, people who lose weight like that, because you give up so much stuff to get to that goal. And then as soon as you start eating carbs or eating anything out of, back, in the world, you gain weight back, which is what happened to me. So, yeah, but it was strict. And so I would go in there, and I would say, I went to Weight Watchers, right? So I wouldn't put what I was really eating because she would call you out. So I would be standing in line with my cute self, thinking I was cute. I used to go to work out. Had to be cute. My hair was cute. I was just up in there. And we would be in line, and she was to sit back. She had people weighing you in, and she's known. I mean, this lady she's probably known all over. But so she would be sitting back. She was a small, petite lady. Her husband also worked for her. So a lot of times, if you were like a decent looking girl, she'd be looking you up and down. I guess she's like, honey, my husband is up in here. But one thing I will say, I don't want anybody else's husband because I don't share, and I want to be the main attraction. I don't want to be second to anybody. So, but she would, some of those, and she's rightfully so, because some of you ladies, now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But she would look you up and down. And so when I would go up to the, to get weighed in, she knew your body. That's another thing. She knew your body. And she was like, this is when I had joined Weight Watchers. She was like, yeah, you're eating in a closet. That's what she would say to me. You're eating in the closet. And I would say to myself, now I ain't say that to her, right? I would say that to myself, like, yeah, I'm eating, but it ain't in the closet. And I would get it there. And so she knew I was doing something different. She didn't know it was Weight Watchers, but I wasn't dropping like I was dropping when I gave up the carbs. And you could eat grapefruit. I think you could eat grapefruit and maybe an apple. Maybe. But if you put an apple in there, she would be calling you out. And when I say call you out, she would say, you think you're cute. Like she said that to me before too. So you think you're cute, don't you? And I wanted to say to her, no, you think I'm cute. But I did. Now, I just would smile all the time. So she liked me because I smiled all the time. Like nothing she said. And she would do that. It was like a mind game, right? It reminded me of, I'm in a sorority. So it's like those mind games that they play with you. So, the mind games don't get to me. So she was saying, oh, my soror is up in here. You know how those mind games work, soror. So she would say, stuff. And I'd just be like, looking at her, just smiling. And one time she said, you're so happy. And I said, thank you. I just would hit her with a smile. No matter what she would say. And she would have people in there having an attitude. People would get mad, walk out. But you knew what you were going in there for. Like, I'm somebody who needs like that strict kind of situation. So I be back at Weight Watchers, because I need that accountability of like weighing in and going in somewhere. Like I do miss that. I don't know why I need that, because I can go rogue over here on my own. That's why. How about that? Jeez, Louise. Okay, so wait, I see people are saying stuff in here. So wait a second. So yeah. Okay. Dee, you or anyone else in the chat read the book Weightless? No, I heard about this Weightless book. I wrote it down. Somebody mentioned it on my Wednesday live. I wrote that down. I need to read that. Hey Sora, how are you? How is the cruise? I've never been on a cruise ever. I keep telling the downsides I'm going to go on their cruise one day, but when I go, you got to come with me. I'm going to take a crew of folks. How about that? I've ended up at the doctor's go with 27 BMI and 13% body fat percentage at 215 pounds. What? You ended up at your doctor's go. Oh my gosh, Grant, that is excellent. Jeez, Louise. Oh my gosh. Love that for you. Oh, how about that? Wait, so okay. So at 215 pounds, you met a 27 BMI. Well, my dad, I wonder how that is. Wow, that's insane. Maybe because you chiseled the fat out. My dad is at, gosh, I'm telling his business on here. Don't tell him, Grant. Don't tell him. But so we've been trying to get him approved for this Zepbound through that bridge program, right? And that's what I need to check on today. Is Monday. So when I get off here, that's my next job, to check on that. But one of the things is he's lost weight. He's like 190 something. He's at a 27 BMI. But to get that Zepbound quick pen is other factors. It can't be kidney though. I thought that was interesting. It can't be kidney or heart to get that quick pen. Now this is what she showed me the chart. So people come here and say, my doctor said. I'm telling you what my doctor said, and I'm telling you the reference chart she had, and she showed it to me. So he had other things that's another thing he was able to qualify for to get that quick pen, but we don't know if his insurance is going to cover. So today I've been talking with his other doctors. He has so many specialist type of doctors. And so I need to, and I checked the pharmacy to see if it went through that Zepbound quick pen. But anyway, his weight, I want to say it was either 191 or 196, and he's at a 27 BMI. So, and I want to say 27 and a half. And I want to say that he was right on the border and met the BMI for this quick PM situation. So there's that. But I mean, geez, Louise, and I see you on your live streams. Are you saying you're 215 pounds? You don't look it. Geez, Louise, you look great. Look great. I just crossed over Wonderland. You also moved from obesity to over. Elizabeth, 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 I love that for you. Very good. Now, Vivi, are you in here? Is Vivi in here? Because I want to celebrate her 4K view subscribers. Jeez Louise, I just love that for you. I know your goal was to grow your channel, and you have done a great job. So keep that up. If you are in here, let me know. Come pop your head in. If not, no worries. I'm saying congratulations to Vivi. Jeez Louise. What a celebration. Grant is also a content creator. Grant, let me put you up here. Are you guys checking Grant out? Let me see. Grant. Okay, here you go. So Grant also has a channel. So if you're interested in checking him out, go and follow him. You know, one of the things I love, you know, Grant has, I feel like, you know, your channel is faith-based too, which if you know, I don't know if you were listening to me earlier, but, you know, I've said now that I'm going from a retired teacher to, you know, now that I'm not teaching anymore and I'm retired, you know, I was like, I'm not doing anything else, you know, given my, you know, my contribution to society. I feel like I've done great things. You know, if you know me behind the scenes, I'm always helping people. And I thought, I've done enough. Not that I'm never going to do that again, but, you know, I thought I'm good. Well, when I went to that Obama Center, it just gave me like a new sense of purpose, like wanting to help people. And, you know, part of the reason why I say, you know, it's like I'm done, because when you're a nice person, people kind of can try to step over you. You know what I'm saying? And it just irritates me, that type of situation. But when I went to that Obama Center, I thought, as much as he sacrificed to be a great president for our country, in my opinion, right? I realize people don't think that, but I do. And when you go in there and you see everything he's done and all the sacrifices people, you know, public figures make, you know, it's just, it makes me like feel like I need to do something. Now, my daughter's teachers in her old school, she was in a K-2 building. Now she's in a 3-5 building. And even in the 3-5, it was a school board position that came up, and they were telling me, you should run. And somebody filled it. So don't worry. I don't have to worry about saying I'm running for that. But I was like, I don't want to do anything in public service. People aren't grateful. People don't appreciate it. People take your kindness for weakness. You know, do I want to stay up thinking about how somebody, you know, made it through the night? I've had to do that a lot of times as a teacher. And I thought, I don't want to do that in this phase of my life. And so confirmed, I don't want to do that. But it's other things I think I want to do to, you know, just continue the kindness going, that kindness thing. But yeah, going to that Obama Center, again, it made me feel like I need to be doing more. Doing more to help my fellow men. So I love that you have, you know, that focus on your channel. I think that's a great thing. I think we cannot have enough kindness in the world. All right. So Beverly says, yes, Dee, speak the truth. That's some real talk. Some of us lose it faster than others. Yeah, you know, on this channel, I just want to embrace everybody's losing however you are. Not, you know, it's like if you lost fast, you know, now research says you'll gain probably it back quicker than a slow loser. But guess what? Be you, right? You could be the one that proved it wrong. Now, I see some of these folks that are eating like, you know, it's this one person I was following, and they were eating like big old steaks, and they would post big old steaks and, you know, all this stuff. And, you know, I can't take that because I don't even eat beef or pork. So, and I posted it, and I had to like stop looking at it because, you know, I just didn't want to really see that. But they've done an excellent job with their weight loss. They have really slimmed down eating those meat and veggies. My girl Joe's another one that's a carnivore. You know, I'm not over here like disagreeing with the carnivores. I just don't want to eat like that. And, you know, it's like, and I just don't love protein. But I say, do it how you do it. So I think we have to embrace what anybody is doing for their journey. And let's face it, you got to do what works for you, right? You got to do what works for you. Shawnee! Shawnee, what are you a fanatic about? And Shawnee is a content creator too. So go over there, check her out, see if you are interested in what she's saying and doing, and follow her too. We love that. Shawnee, what are you a fanatic about? Okay, so I'm gonna order that on. Let me see, because I got I said I was gonna cancel this. Just Sherry, what do you think I should do? I have an audio. Is that what you have, Sherry? The audio app, Audible. It's Audible. And I get a recurring credit so I have 7 credits. Now at one point I had like 16 credits. So I bought a bunch of books. But should I cancel that, Sherry? Jeez Louise. I said I need, I have to realize that my income is less because I'm still feeling fabulous. It's like I have to realize my income is less. So that's one of the things I'm going to do when my daughter goes back to school. I'm going to sit down. I'm not going to have time to do anything before then. I'm going to sit down and really look at my budget, and some things can go. And I think it's going to have to be this Audible. But before I do this, let me get this waitlist book. Is this it, Sherry? Wait, who is the person? Sherry, can you see? Is that it? Okay, because I'm about to order this baby. Sherry, are you in here still? Let's see, Sherry. Abby, hi, Abby. Good morning. Okay, let me scroll down. Anissa, wait a second. Oh, here's I'm sorry, you guys, if you're interested in cruising, you said just let me know. I heard about their cruises as well, and would go with others. And yeah, we have to plan that. We were talking about, I don't want to compete with the downsides. Plus, they've been asking me to go on this cruise forever. So we're going to have another DD's meetup. I don't know when it's going to be, but we're going to start planning that because we had a great time with our group that we were with. And the first thing all of them said was, when are we doing it again? So we have to plan another meetup. And but I'm open to the cruise. I've never been on a cruise, but guys, this is going to be hard because being away from my daughter for the week, I did it because I've got to do adult things and I have to worry about censoring everything I'm doing. But I just don't know if I want to be without I got to go on a cruise. Well, you're a professional, Sora, so I'll be okay with you. But I don't want to go for like a week. So another thing too is I want to be on a fabulous boat. Now, I call myself a diva because, first of all, I'm a devastating diva. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. That is our name. We're devastating divas, right? So that's where I get the name diva from. But I'm not one of those divas that's like demanding, ask the people on the DD's cruise. I go with the flow. If I create the flow, it's going to be an even keel flow. It's not going to be like stressing everybody out and all of that. So I love that about myself. But I like all things fabulous. I will say that. So if that's diva, I'm owning that. Right? I like all things fabulous. And so I want to be on a fabulous boat. If I go to a hotel, I want to be in a fabulous hotel room. If I'm only in the hotel room for 1 hour, it's going to be fabulous for the hour. So I've always been like that. I think I get that from my mom and my dad. So yeah. So if I go on a cruise, it has to be a nice, fabulous boat. That's my thing. And I realize when you're doing what the downsides is doing, you're looking at other things, right? Because they travel all over on those cruises. They've probably been everywhere. And so yeah, but I realize when you're going with that big of a group, it's not always about being on the best, fabulous, most fabulous cruise. I get that. So yeah, there is no criticism. It's just that, I'm high maintenance when it comes to my accommodations. So it's just the truth. Okay. All right. So Happy, welcome in. Oh, okay. So she says in response to saying someone are fanatics and do things. Oh yeah. Oh, geez, Louise, I can't get tickets for the center. I hope we can visit when we go to Chicago the first week of August. Well, I think you could go in there, Anissa, and it's a part you could go in. But if you want to go in the library where it's just, I'm telling you, people were in tears. Another thing I like about that is, it's like kind of like everybody in there was family. You felt like the Black people, the white people, the Asian people, the Hispanic people. I saw every culture in there you can name. And this one lady, I'm talking to her, and I had got separated kind of from, the group. We didn't all stay together because, your eyes take you. Some of us stayed in pairs, but some of us split up. And I happened to be walking to catch up with the group, and this lady was just beautiful, older lady. Gee, she was like she was dressed to the nines. She looked so good. And she was like, "This is so wonderful, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we started talking like we were cousins, and we ended up hugging and saying goodbye. And that's how it felt being in there with everybody that was in there. You guys know I love diversity. I love all things diversity. I just think you can learn from everybody, right? From people. And I think one of the things that we have to do is stop acting like we meet people and they're strangers. And, it's a security thing. I get that. But, I think we have to learn how to embrace people. Now, with that said, I'm one of the most private folks you're ever going to meet. But at that Obama place, it was just it's just so great. But I think they have a statue. So if you're going to be in Chicago, and I'm going in August. Anita, maybe we can meet up in August. I think that's when I'm taking my daughter. No, we don't have to meet up and hang out, but just to say hello in person. We can do that if you want. But when are you going to be there? Maybe email me if you don't want to say it on here and let me know, because I am thinking about taking my daughter back. On the scale from 1 to 10, I'm like 8. I'm like, it's an 8 that I'm probably going and taking her. But anything could change between now and then. But once I buy my ticket, it's on and popping. So I need to figure that out. It's just going to be expensive because, again, I like to stay in a nicer hotel. It doesn't have to be like super expensive, but I just want it to be clean and it looks updated. And so, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, I actually won the audiobook on another wait, let me see. I'm behind in these comments. I'm sorry. Shay, my name twin, how are you? Somebody says, am I helping people on this channel? Well, I hope so. I'm helping people and I'm helping myself too. But on this channel, we're talking about the GLP-1. Are you in the GLP-1 community? Are you taking a GLP-1 medication? Are you on a health journey, a weight loss journey? Any of those things, you're welcome here because we're talking about that. Now, if you're one of those people who don't believe in the GLP-1, this is probably not the chat for you because it is what it is over here. Okay, you're 6'2", and my dad is 5'11". You're 6'2"? Oh my goodness, Grant. I love that. Somebody that's 6'2". I never see a tall person or meet a tall person. I feel like everybody are shorties up in here. Except for Taisha in real life. She was tall. She was taller than I expected, which is cool. Okay, very good. We love that. You said not eating in the closet. Sounds like my mom saying people stealing food. Yeah, that's what she was saying. You're a closet eater, eating stuff but not want people to know. That's the funny part. Hello, she says, good morning. Look at you, looking all cute. Love the glasses, love the hair. It all works for you. I love that. You guys are so fashionable and just everything. All right, very good. So if I miss somebody, Bill Flower, let me know if you can pay attention in here. People are saying congratulations to Grant. Let's see. Oh, I am 5. Okay, so I'm 5'4.5". 5'4.5", Tammy. How tall are you? And it's so funny because people were like, oh, Mel was saying, I'm going to be taller than you. We came to the conclusion we're pretty much the same height. Hey, Shay, my name twin. How are you? Except for I spell my name Shay, but we are named twins. We love that. Okay, so let's see. Did we get people over? We want to get people over to her channel. We got Grant up in here. We have anybody else? Let's see. Okay, so Grant, you're going on the cruise next year already. Okay, all right. I don't think I'll make it next year, but I am going to make it. I think as time goes on, those cruises are only going to get bigger and better, right? Because it has shown that over time. So I don't know if I'll make it next year. Maybe when my daughter gets older, unless she was with her godmother while I was in Chicago. I'm going to have to tell her I had to get her a spa. I booked her. Well, I didn't book her. I gave her some money to go and get a spa. A pedicure, because she was up, they were doing stuff every day. When I tell you she was so busy with my daughter. So if I could get her to keep her and plan it around that, but I don't think I'll be able to do that for next year because I already feel like I got stuff going on. But maybe in 2028. So with my folks, my downsizing diva folks, but I'm gonna have to talk to them because do they want all my downsizing diva folks on there? Most of us have the same people, though. That's the great thing, right? Most of us. I'm gonna have to call Lorraine and Chris and see what we could do about that. But I feel like I'll go in there and take over their boat cruise. I love the downs, the highs. I love them. I actually won the audio book on another channel. Okay, it was on Audible. Okay, so that is the book because I wrote the name down that somebody gave me the other day. Ooh, how are you? Oh, really, Raquel? I love the name Raquel. I don't hear a lot of Raquels. I've been a teacher for 32 years. I think I've only had one Raquel. How about that? I have 3 days. Ooh, you have 3 days cruises out of Florida. They go over the Bahamas and come back. So I think this last downsized cruise was that. But yeah. So Mel says she met and she chatted it up with the doctor, and you heard her speak live. You have her book. She's incredibly smart. I love that. Jeez, Louise. Well, one day when I write a book, I hope you're saying that about me, Mel to the B. We make great cruise buddies on the ship. I love luxury cruises as well. On the downside cruise, I'm sure you will be able to book upgraded accommodations. I've been on that ship and it's nice. This last one or the first one? Okay, so she's saying it's nice. So you're the cruise lady. I need to go over there and watch your cruises. It's like I'm so scary. I could never be. I just give you so much. Let me give you. I know I gave you confetti before, but here you go, Soror, because to be on a cruise, to be a solo cruiser like that, I just think that is so brave, courageous. Something I'm not when it comes to that. How about that? Jeez, Louise. I love that. So yeah, okay. So you're 4'9" and a quarter, not a quarter, 3/4. Oh my goodness. Jeez, Louise, somebody I'm taller than. So we got to get together in person so I can feel good about myself that I'm finally taller than somebody. I love that. My mom was maybe my mom was 5'1", so she was shorter. So I always felt tall next to her, but that's okay because if you put on heels and I got on flats, you're going to be taller than me anyway. I love that. Hold up. Wait a minute. We got a super chat here. Oh, geez. Oh, losing it, Grace. I just love this lady. Jeez, Louise. So you must have heard me say, I said, I got to call Losing It Grace and see what is going on because I stopped keeping track of my situation. And Losing It Grace, geez, Louise, she said, okay, so thank you for helping me out. First of all, thank you for the super chat, but thank you even more for this info. I'm going to screenshot this baby and match it up. I'm going to go back and update my little records. Okay, so she said, Dee Dee, your first 12.5 milligram video, June 13, 2025, first 15 milligram. Now, okay, so I didn't start taking it when I made that first 15 milligrams. I had already been taking it before that, so I just didn't say. Meaning you were on 12.5 for 54 weeks or 12 months. I was on it for 12 months. What? 13 days or 378 days. Hello to all the divas and divos. Grace, thank you. Jeez, Louise, we got to give you a thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for helping me out. I knew you were on it. Jeez. Oh, wait, wrong one. Oh my goodness, Grace. Thank you. You are so smart. Behind the scenes, I tell my buddies, I said, that Grace is the most smartest YouTuber out here. She is on it and we love that. So, go check her out. She's talking about all things protein in her GLP-1 journey. And gosh, you're keeping track of your weight coming down and you're keeping track of mine too. Thank you. My doses. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Very good. I did take a screenshot of that. So I am going to catch up with my little records. I was so meticulous about all of that until I started cranking out these YouTube videos. And preparing to retire and being my dad's secretary and helping him out in his household. It just got so overwhelming, but we love that. Okay, so Shawnee, you booked a cruise for, okay, very good. We love that. Okay, so the Didi, I'm going to do something, maybe not, well, my next thing, I don't think it'll be a cruise. It'll be, so let me ask you guys, would you go to a resort? If I had something at a resort, would you guys do that? We gotta think of something else we want to do for that. Okay, the first one, yes. Now, I heard that was a nice boat, the Celebrity Reflection. But somebody told me those nicer boats. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. But somebody told me those nicer boats. Let me put you back up here. They said that you have to, it's like not a weekend cruise, right? Like it's more over a week. Is that true or not? Because I don't know if I want to be, and that's the thing. Do I want to be on a boat with folks for a whole week? Now, I could do anything not anything, but a little vacation for a weekend. But for a whole week, I think I would be ready to go. I guess if you're with the right people, you're not, but geez, Louise. Yeah, Grace coming on in, honey, the right way. Swooping in with stats in the super chat. I know, let's give her some confetti again. Go, Grace. I just love that. Jeez, Louise. All right, very good, very good. Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, so who is this in here? Hello, how are you? Good morning, beautifuls. I'm here and I just started. Okay, wait. So what is GLO2? What is that? Oh, GLP-1. Okay. I was gonna say now, I know I'm getting older, but am I that out of the lingo? Jeez Louise. That's one of the things I'm gonna miss about being a teacher, right, Grace? They keep you hip to the happenings, right? Like that's how I know what's going on. But I guess I got my daughter because she knows. And when I say something cool, she's like, Mom, how did you know that? I mean, like, does she not realize I'm the coolest 50 now 4-year-old? She knows what is wrong with her. Jeez, Louise, you are so welcome. Congratulations. Let me give you some confetti. Oh, how was that birth injection? That's what I want to know. Jeez, Louise, congratulations. I always tell people congratulations is because you have made a decision to take care of your health. That's what the congratulations is. So before you even, get some stats, start on your journey, you already won, right? Because you made that decision that you're going to do something to take care of your health. I always say that. I really believe in that. Okay, so you would do a resort. So Shay, yeah, you're definitely going on the next one. So we gotta I'm not a fan of the cruises again either. Cause I'm just, but again, it's like, am I open to trying something different? I am, but just not next year. Let's see. Okay. So she said, generally speaking, the smaller cruises will have more 3 to 5 day sailings. Larger ships will have 6+. Okay, very good. Oh, okay. Okay, Shawnee, thank you. Okay, I believe that too. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so that you said I smashed my right hand, so it's going to be hard to feed myself cook. So this should be interesting. Yeah, but good luck. That's exciting to start new. Dee, I remember a year ago when Grace was concerned that she wasn't losing. All of a sudden, she took off. Yeah, she looks fabulous. I know. So that's why I always say, do not give up. Do not give up. Because, you can be slow, not losing, and then it just starts to click, right? Whatever that is. And I also think, what happens is you're really losing at the pace your body says you should lose at, but we start looking around and seeing other people dropping this weight. Like if I was on here during my boot camp days, you guys would be like, dang, Dee Dee's a fast responder. People would shy away from my channel because they start comparing themselves to me. Like this 50-year-old lady is dropping like that. Now, at the time I was doing the boot camp, I was in my 40s. I wasn't in my 50s. But you know what I'm saying? So I think that comparison is out there. And we shouldn't compare, but it's just natural. And everybody compares. Like we're comparing boats right now, right? The cruises. So everybody compares. It's a part of life. I just think that you have to flip it and make it work for you. So we're comparing these cruises, not to bash the cruises, right? But just to pick the best one for us. And I think that that's a smart thing to do. So there's that. So I'm one of those people. I do, think that you can share your journeys, but you should never compare them, like Taisha says. But I do think sometimes you can compare them, though. If you're going to use it for inspiration, not to use it to bash yourself. And that's what she means by that, right? She's saying that because people were comparing themselves in not a good way. They were comparing themselves and beating themselves up. And that's what we don't want to do. So, and before I get off here, I've been on here almost an hour and 25 minutes. Do you guys have any other things you want to talk about? Menopause was the cause. Oh, okay. By the way, I'm a very healthy eater and very active, but yes. And so that's what I hope people realize with these GLP-1s. It is helping people that, got up to a big weight and the size just got out of hand and your weight got out of control. But this is what I have learned, and this is what I really believe, is that these GLP-1s and all the peptides they have coming down the pike and all the weight loss, all the weight loss medications that are ahead of us, it's going to be helping everybody. That person that struggles with weight because they're perimenopausal, menopausal, right? Or postmenopausal. The hormones have a lot to do with it, as far as women and men are concerned. And so I think it's going to address that. And I think that we have to realize that, we're not gatekeeping, what's it called? Gatekeeping this medication. Anybody could, take it that needs it. So if you're somebody who you have 20 pounds to lose, now, do I believe it should be like a fad diet type of thing? No, but of course people are using it for that. Anything you can think of, I'm sure someone is using it for that. Do I want it to become that? No, if it's at the, detriment of other people getting it that really need it. But hey, people are using it. If you say, hey, I want to take it and lose 20 pounds because I can't get rid of this 20 pounds and everything else is healthy on me, I just want to take off this weight, I say, great. Why not? Why not? And now I say, do we want people to be out there, taking it and, do we want people to be out there taking it and, not using it correctly and passing away from it and doing all kinds of things like that? No, but let's face it, people are going to do what they do. And I'm one of those people, like, I don't know if you can make it look bad. I think, when people say you're making the medication look bad, I think we have to kind of get away from that, because I think people are using it how it suits them. So it's this content creator. I'm not going to say the name or the gender. So if I say he, her, you're not going to know who it is. Maybe you guys are going to know because you might watch this content creator. But this person is always on there saying, like, oh, I ate this, I ate pizza, I ate this, I ate that. And I know people criticize that, but I say, let her do her. If she's eating pizza, she's come around too. Like she was saying, I didn't change a thing and I lost, this weight on a GLP-1. And I know people were saying she's making the medication look bad. Well, not really. I don't think. I think she is doing what she can do. People do what they can do. So, if you're on a healthy lifestyle, you've never strayed off, you're doing everything right, it's going to come a time where I guess I always look at things like it's going to come a time where everybody's going to have bumps in the road and everybody's not going to be doing the right thing. I just saw a lady who, dropped 125 pounds. Now she's gained it all back plus some. And she's been taking a GLP-1 medication. I don't understand if she got off and went back on or she stopped the medication. But I know you can overeat the medication. On some doses, I started to do that once it wasn't as effective. So I just say let people have their experience. Do we only want the good things out there? Yeah, but I only want positive people on YouTube. I don't get that either. So, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I think we got to let people experience it. If you eat pizza all day and you're still in a calorie deficit, because you can be in a calorie deficit eating just pizza. Okay, let them do that. And, and she'll get to the point where it won't work anymore. If you want to eat steaks all day on your GLP-1 and don't eat your veggies and get the fiber, do that. If you don't believe in fiber, as my guy Round Mouth said, we're not doing fiber. Don't eat the fiber. You know what? I only really watch the things that to me. So I'm not criticizing what folks are doing out here. That would be like me saying like, well, I guess I probably have said that. I can't use that example I was going to use. But let's face it, whatever we're doing, there's a category of people making it look bad, right? And we just keep it moving. It's going to be like that on this medication. I say, if you're brave enough to get on YouTube and tell your story, and good for you, good, bad, or indifferent, do it with how you do it the way you want to do it. Most people end up learning over time that it's not going to work if you don't follow these guidelines, which is a healthy lifestyle. Some people learn it sooner than others. Some people learn it after they gain 100 pounds back. But whenever you learn it, you learn it. So with that said, there was somebody in here who asked me, I think he was in my comment section, so I don't know if he's still watching, but he asked me if he could create a cartoon, picture for me. And whenever people ask me, can they do something, is it free? Because if it's free, go for it. But most of the time it's not free. But I ended up creating my own. So look at this. So cute. So cute. So I made my own. So to that guy, hopefully you're watching. I think it's a guy because I clicked on the profile. I can make my own. Thank you very much, though. So isn't that so sweet? I love how you can just make these portraits and all of that. This is my new printer, my color printer. I had to get a new printer. My color printer was not working. And luckily I had a warranty because they were able to, I had to pay more money, but for the most part, it was covered to get a new printer. And it prints, it says this printer is a 7.5 printer, but I think that this looks good. And I'm not printing a lot of stuff in color. If I need something super fancy, I'll take it to like a, FedEx or like a Office Max or something like that, and use their printer. I would do it at work, but no, I can't do that anymore. But if I didn't want to print on, if it wasn't related to the kids, it was my personal, I take it to one of those other stores and have them print it out. So there's that. All right. All right, so what's happening to you guys? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we talked about the menopause of it all. Cookie's looking forward to seeing how you do. Yeah, you got to come back to the live streams. We have them at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. Bye, Elizabeth. Thank you for stopping in. Anyone use minoxidil for hair loss with these meds? And if you do, it's the oral or the scalp treatment. I'm thinking about it. Well, I have tried the, let me show you what I have. Well, you know what? I'll bring it to the Wednesday live stream because I have to go get it. But I use that. It's just the kind you buy like in Walmart, Target, like a Walgreens probably sells it. It's that foam. I went to the doctor and I was going to get the ones you take by pill. It's not FDA approved. And so my doctor, she said, well, my dermatologist, she said, I have to tell you all the cons. And when she told me the cons, it talked me out of it. But Mel uses it. So Mel is probably in her meeting with her at work. So I'll have her bring it on Wednesday and let you know what it is, Nancy, that she uses. She said it has worked for her. And actually, my hair it's starting to thicken up too. And I use that. I'll show you what I use, but I don't use the one that Mel uses. That's the pill, just because I was afraid. The dermatologist scared me out of it. Okay, so fingers crossed, looking to lose 30 to 40 pounds. Excellent. I think you will do it. As a matter of fact, I know you will. Okay, when I went on the cruise, it was to meet people in the community, not for the destination. Yes, I love that. And have you kept in touch with people? But remember, I said, which is, why I had my meetup. Now, we met up in Chicago. I've been to Chicago literally a million times. But again, like you say, it was for meeting the people. So there has to be a destination. But I'm saying, in the meantime, in between time, I got to be in some nice accommodations. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Jeez, Louise. Okay, Bitchy, what was happening? That was what's happening to me. Now on Zepbound and changed my life. Over 100 pounds down. Yeah, she's done an excellent job. Excellent job. All right, so Mail to the B. Oh, thank you. I love this picture too. I think I'm going to post that picture. So frustrating when you do everything right but still can't lose. Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't think people really understand that don't have struggles with losing weight, even on this GLP-1. Even on this GLP-1 with the tool, I still have struggles because I have that emotional eating. Now, do I need a therapist? No, I don't think I do. Would it hurt to have one? Sure. I mean, it probably is a great idea, but I just don't have the need to have a therapist right now. But I think everybody can benefit from a little therapy. Can I tell my life story to some folks and all that goes on and this and that? But I think another thing people have to remember with me is that I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't indulge in any of the other vices. I don't have like a like a intimacy addiction. I don't have any of that stuff. So really literally the one thing I do and have always had is food. And so I think that food has, like I said, been my situation, my, emotional support and all of that for all things, fabulous things and not so fabulous things. So there's that. But I think when other people have other vices, like coffee is another thing, drinking Diet Coke for the caffeine of it all. People aren't just drinking coffee because it tastes good. Most people, it's that caffeine that's doing something for you, unless you're drinking decaf. And the people that say, I love coffee, I've yet to find one. Now, that's not everybody, but I've yet to find one that's not. So you might not have, a smoking or an alcohol addiction, but you're drinking the caffeine. I know this lady who loves Diet Pepsi. She cannot give up Diet Pepsi to save her life. And so she's getting something from that Diet Pepsi. So that's what I'm saying. People have vices. I don't really have those things. So I've always had food. So is that something I need to talk to a doctor, a therapist about? Maybe. Am I planning on it? No, not right now. Not right now. So yeah, and I think it's okay. I think we got all gotta kind of just work through our own stuff, right? And and figure it all out. So, but I'm just saying, like my mom, that was her thing, coffee. She wasn't drinking coffee because she loved the taste of coffee so much. It was that caffeine that was doing something for her. So, and I think that's okay. We're all gonna have stuff. I'm saying my stuff is food. So you may not be able to relate to me if you're a fast loser, you don't have the emotional attachment to food, you have other vices that you can lean on instead of eating, so that's why I say I don't compare myself really because nobody really is doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So I just try to focus on me and what I'm doing. But I learned that I didn't start off that way. I was looking at folks like, oh my God, she lost 60 pounds in 5 months. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's also because now that I'm thinking about it, I also knew a time when I did that. But again, I was in my early 40s. I wasn't 50. Yeah, and I don't think I was perimenopausal at that point. If I was, I didn't really have symptoms to know about it. So there's a whole lot with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the bottom line is we're just going to be fabulous doing what we do in our own way. And that's it. That's all. I mean, that's it. That's all. Okay. So wait, I saw Mel came in here with okay. So Mel takes 1 milligram of the oral minoxidil. She loves it. Yeah. She talks about it all the time. Mel tells me the story about that as if she never told me before about her hair growing. So I'm telling you, it works. And, her eyebrows look fabulous. Her hair looks fabulous. It's growing how she wants it, thickening up. So we love that. An ad came up during this live and it backed me up. I can't fast forward to where we are. I'm listening. So, now they're saying that the ads play under the live. Is that true? I don't know. Now, when I've been on people's lives, the ads come in up under the live stream. So, Nancy, the oral minoxidil, along with, does tasteride is what my dermatologist recommended. Supposedly the combination of the two is best. Okay. I wonder, is that what my person told me about? Let me screenshot this cookie. So I'll have it. Okay. All right. Because I might go back and do it. But she scared the crap out of me when she was talking about all that stuff. I said, geez, Louise. Now, I know it works for male, but I'm not male. I'm not the fabulous male. Male's not me. So, I could be different. So I just think about that. Okay. You went to the supermarket. What'd you get? What did you get? Okay, so Nancy says she lost hair at the very beginning on 2.5, but it grew back. I recently titrated up to 10 and it's falling out again. Although I could probably rock a bald head. Yes, you could. You could rock a bald fade in a heartbeat. We love that. Jeez, Louise. Let's see. Did Anissa say when she's going to be in Chicago? I don't know if she said. Overeaters Anonymous helps me with emotional. Hello there. Look at you. What a beauty. How are you? Your hair, you don't have problems with your hair. I see. Jeez Louise. I love it. Overeater. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I have a friend that is a self-proclaimed food addict. And I'm not like her, like this, like they not like us. They not like us. So I always thought, I don't think I'm a food addict. I think I would go to Weight Watchers before I would go to that. And you're in Weight Watchers confessing. Most people are. They have also this program, and I was doing that before I started taking the GLP-1, where you go and you talk about weight. It's through the hospital here. It's kind of reminds me of that, but it's like a support group for people trying to lose weight. I was going to go in there and tell them about the GLP-1. I just haven't made a meeting. And then the doctor who was in charge of it, he must have retired or took that off his, list of things to do. And so they have a new person, and the new person was behind the scenes trying to get everything situated. And so I think they might have been on a break. So I'm going to look at my emails. I'm so far behind on my emails. Jeez, my real, not downside, and not even downsizing diva emails. Sorry, Ayuga. I'm down. I'm down on all my emails, and my real emails I got to go through because I lose to my email this week from my school. So that's my goal, is to get everything I need from those emails transferred to my my regular emails. But so yeah, I love that. Yeah, so the routine of it, that is a part of it. The routine of it, not just, I know you like the taste, but I'm saying it's a routine, and it's embedded in that caffeine. That's the driver. You might not think so, but I guarantee you it is. So is Pepsi and any, products. So that's what I'm saying. People have their thing to lean on. That's the point. And I don't really have that with anything but food. Like there's no drink that I'm like, you can ask my daughter, there's no drink that I got to drink every day. There is no, there is no vice. And it used to be one of the things I will say, when I have been strict on a diet, guess what I did? I started to shop. And that's why my house is filled with so many clothes. And I've been scaling that back and kind of pushing back and, trying not to transfer one addiction of sorts to another. Which, and they say like the GLP-1 takes your desire to shop. For me, it just has been, my closets are all filled. I went through right before I went on that DD's meetup, and I got rid of so much stuff. And, but I still have, my closets are still filled with stuff. So I still need to go through, like that was my first wave. So now I need to go through my second wave of getting rid of clothes. And and stop shopping. My grandmother told me, and I've stuck to it. But again, I have so much stuff that I kind of need to, and I don't need work clothes. I was looking at with my daughter, we were in a Nordstrom rack, and I was like, I don't need to look at work pants. She was like, Mom, these pants are cute. You could wear them to work, the pants. And I said, well, I don't want to buy any more work pants. So I got rid of a lot of work pants just, before we went on the DD's meetup. So now, yeah, I can save my money. Like I'm going to save with all the shopping and just, I have so many clothes. I was like, I need some pants for the DD's meetup. I didn't need pants. I went through in my daughter's closet. I have so many pants that I don't even know if I could fit them anymore. They're just stacked. So I need to go through that. So that's going to be my job between now, while she's at that summer camp. I could get a lot done. She'll be there during the day. So I can get a lot done. So that's this week. I'm going to work on my YouTube channel for this week. And then last week, when she's at the camp, I'm going to work on getting rid of some of these clothes and scaling down. And whatever I can't wear, I just won't be wearing. And whatever I, haven't worn in some years, I'm just going to get rid of this. But this is a rule, because I'm a very organized, neat person. And I like everything to be in its place. And this is what my grandmother said this to me. I'll never forget. She said, when you buy something, Shay, you got to get rid of something. She said, if you buy 3 things, get rid of the 3 things. So I'm going to say to you, I have stuck to that. I really have stuck to that. I have bought things and I have gotten rid of things. Now, I haven't done that as much for my daughter. So I need to do that for her. I need to go through her closets and do that too. So yeah, so I like to organize and stuff, but it takes a lot of time out of on my hands. Jeez Louise. So Mel says, She says she loves coffee with yes. I use stevia too, but I don't use the liquid. I use the packets. So I use the same thing you use, but I haven't used that meal because now I've been using, and I know you don't drink the protein shakes though. So I use that instead. But yeah, that stevia is good. So if you didn't want the shakes, which I know you're not into the shakes, that's perfect. She says the eyebrows and lashes are back. I'm redeemed from the 90s. And that was a thing. The thin eyebrows was a thing of the 90s. Yes. Oh my God. Wait till you see my thick, bushy eyelashes and me eyebrows. I mean, and it's just gone downhill, but that's okay. She said, the male to the B. I use stevia. I get the dried leaves and cry. Wow. Wow. Now I'm going to share with you guys. I've been, oh, you are. She said, fine, thank you. Okay, so you said I bought honey mustard, ooh, Jamaican jerk, baby back ribs, turkey wings, and green veggies. Oh, you got to be careful about that virus. You got to make sure you cook those, honey. Cook them, cook them, cook them. Nancy, I love it. It dawned on me to make my own, but I was able to find sweet leaf bread, stevia drops. It has no additives, just the stevia leaf as purified water. Yes, and I know some of that stevia has been linked to cancer. So just so you know, but I don't think the one you use or the one I use, Mel. But yeah, I had a friend, she was getting these drinks, like these kind of like refreshers, but it was from like a Whole Foods place. And when they started telling us what they use, I researched the ingredients, and that stevia brand she was using, no, ma'am. And you're going to find, I mean, it's hard to dodge everything, but yeah, they're all not built the same. Ooh, salted caramel. Yes. Sydney, she says, hi, Dee Dee and chat. Is this live at this time a regular occurrence? No, you know what, Sydney? I just came on here. Like I came on Monday a couple weeks ago, maybe a month now, just because my schedule got busy. But yeah, I said, if I can come on a Monday to help people start their day. But I really wanted to talk about their day, not their day in their week. But my 15 milligram dose, I had to go back to 12 and a half because it was delayed. First it was a doctor's screw up, misunderstanding, I should say. Then it turned into Sydney being a insurance delay. And so I finally got, my 15, and I was fine when I had to go back to 12. So I was thinking, should I stay on 12 and a half or go to 15? Well, yesterday I took that 15 milligram injection, but I'm going to see how this does in a couple of months. And I may be open to going back down to 12 and a half. Cause like I said, I was at my Dee Dee's meetup and I felt good on it. Now I just think how you feel is everything, but I do want to lose some more weight too. So there's that, Sydney. Thanks for asking. She says, I actually just went to research and found out not only stress eater rewards is still you eat as well. I take what I need from attending. It's just another tool in my tool belt. I think that's great. Let me give you some confetti, because some people, I'm telling you, are so critical about that. Some people are critical when you say, my goal is to stay out of this camera. Sorry. Like I'm all up in the grill. I'm trying to stay back. So if I was trying to hide anything, I can't do it. You guys can see everything because I'm all up in this camera. I just can't help myself. But I think that's great. I just don't have a desire to do it, but I think that's great if you are doing it and you feel comfortable doing it. And I think that that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I might do it. I'm saying a girl has a right to change her mind. I might say, I'm never going to therapy. Well, I wouldn't say that because I have learned not to say what you would never do. You never know what God has in store for you. You never know what direction your life is going to go. So I, for one, now I might say I never want to do that, but I would never say I'm never going to do it. Yeah, I've just learned that, and it makes me look smart. Geez, Louise. Okay, all right. Okay, people are saying hello with Miss Sydney here. All right, thank you. Let's see. She says, I have to go. I hope all of you have a goodest week as you can possibly have. Take a little time for some self-care. You're worth it. Thank you. We love that. Let's give her some confetti. That was nice. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. Okay, all right. Let's see. What are you guys saying on here? Shay says, I'm missing the live. That's okay. Go back and catch the replay. Mel says she hopes, hi to anybody she missed. Sadly, something is always linked to something. We just have to do the best we can. Yeah, it really is. I only cooked vegetables. Yeah, so I'm glad you're cooking them. I want to make that bean dip, and it's supposed to have onions, green peppers, and celery. And I already have bought it maybe a week and a half ago. It's still good because I checked it out, but I'm scared to do it because it's raw, right? You got to put it in the bean dip raw. So I don't know. Yeah, Sydney, my Zepbound was delayed. Not Zepbound. I'm on Mounjaro. It was delayed because the doctor didn't put it in right. Like how the doctor said they put it in. The pharmacy said they didn't. I think because I have a new insurance, and this is only my second time with this insurance. And so I think that's what it was. So when we got the doctor situation taken care of, then it was delayed because they didn't have it in stock. One of the things she told me is because the medication has to be, and they told me this a long time ago when there was shortage and all that was going on, but because the medication has to be refrigerated. And when I'm telling you, when I get my medication, it is super cold, not like frozen cold, but it's super cold. And so she said that they have to keep it refrigerated. They can't keep a ton of stock there because they don't have the room for it. So they keep just enough. So when to fulfill whatever they can keep. It would be like us, right? We can only keep so much in our refrigerator because our refrigerator is so big. So same thing for like a Walgreens, CVS, Sam's Club, wherever, Kroger, wherever you get your prescription. And so usually when I order, now in the higher doses, the lower doses, I feel like they always had it whenever there wasn't a shortage. But in the higher doses, I always have to wait. It always says delayed for me. So there's that. When are you going? I'm going the first week in August. So I may be there. I haven't decided. So I'll email you. Okay. First time checking. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Look at those cute glasses. I can't see your face that well, but I see those glasses. They're popping out. Is that tax-free week? Is that everywhere? Because that's another thing, Mel, but I don't think my computer would qualify, right? Because in Ohio, I want to say it's like $75 or less, something like that. It's not, that computer's going to cost me some thousands. Lynn, welcome in though. Welcome into the chat. Mel is saying welcome. Sydney saying I have to tune in Wednesday if you plan to talk about minoxidil. I like to hear people's experience with oral. I can't use the liquid because I have a cat. Oh, okay. So yeah, we will talk about that on Wednesday. I'm going to be on there, celebrate my little birthday. I'm turning 54, Miss Sydney. And your thumbnail always remind me, Central Ohio. Okay, me too. Okay, Lynn. No wonder you're fabulous with those glasses. So yeah, Sydney, your profile pic always reminds me of like a fancy smancy like princess situation. Like the Queen of England type of situation. I love that. Okay, so in Florida, you could buy a computer, any electronic, and so you don't pay taxes on it. Are you sure? Because I'm gonna wait till I don't know. Because remember, I was gonna buy the computer, and then if it went on sale within the 30 days when that whole tax-free situation came up. But I wonder if you pay taxes. Okay, that's something I have to figure out. I don't know. Okay. Sydney, are you 30? She says, Sydney, you're 30, aren't you? Are you in your 30s, Sydney? I love that. Jeez, Louise. Okay, Lynn, are you on the GLP-1? Or are you just stopping in because, you're stopping in? We had the same thing in Ohio. Like, you're in Ohio. Why did I forget you were in Ohio? Okay, all right, very good. Yeah, we've had that for a long time. I always used it in addition to like my little teacher. That's when everybody goes shopping for the supplies. You got to kind of get there early because all the folks are going to be in there shopping for their kids. So yeah, so I'm gonna make sure I go to that. But I want to buy the computer. My computer is old. I'm not just really, I'm doing it for YouTube, but honestly, this computer is probably like the fact that I can do so much on this computer is amazing because this computer is probably 11 years old, at least 10 years old. That's like dinosaur years for a computer. So this computer has done me well. Oh, okay. So, ooh, Bellflower says, Mel, I'm 30. All right. Very good. We love that. Geez, so to be 30 again, these 30-year-olds that are 30 and fabulous, I say go for it. I feel like you got the world in the palm of your hands. And not for nothing. These 50-year-olds, too. I mean, remember when 50 used to seem super old? Now it's just kind of like midlife. All right, so we've been on here for an hour and 55 minutes. Who knew we were gonna be never Nora? Geez, Louise. Norma says Norma is in the house. Never fear, Norma is here. Norma, how are you? Jeez, Nora. I said Norma. Nora, I missed you. Jeez, Louise. You know, when people are in the lives and then you don't see them, I do miss the people. You know, it's so many other people. And one of the things about my live streams is I want everybody to feel special. So remember I told you, if you were on this live earlier, when my daughter, when she was away from her summer camp, she went back. Now, some of those girls, I'm sure they got on each other's nerves or they did something to each other that they didn't like. But man, when they didn't see her for 2 years and she came in there, she felt so special. So that's how I want people to feel when they come in the live streams here. I want you to feel special and appreciated. Even if I said something to annoy you and you skirted out of here and you didn't come, or you've been busy, life happens. So I just love that. So Nora has been gone. So we want to say, welcome, Nora. I'm Norma. Why do I want to say Nora? Nora. Welcome back, Nora. How are you? Norma, what have you been? Let me stop calling you Norma. Nora, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Okay, so Sydney is saying, wait a minute. So Grant says 41 in between. Oh my gosh, you are 41. I love that. Very good. Oh, I love the 30s, 40s, and now the 50s. I love my 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think in the 20s, I didn't know a whole lot. Jeez Louise, once you start getting up there, you just become more wise. I love that. All right, Lynn said she's been on Zepbound, down 40 pounds since November 2025. Go, Lynn. Go, Lynn. Go, Lynn. Good job, Lynn. Let me give you some love that. All right. So did Nora tell me what she's been up to? You said, has anybody been having issues with bone density? No, my bone density is in excellent shape. You know what? I would suggest you go and get a DEXA scan if it's too expensive, because I know, people say, I'm not spending all that money on a DEXA scan. You should be able to get a free bone density test though through your doctor. Like that, usually your insurance covers that. So you can do that and check it out. But yeah, I know one of my friends was just telling me yesterday that she was having issues with her knee. She might need a knee replacement and it's affecting her bone density and all this stuff. And it just made me thank God that I knew where my levels were because I had gotten 2 DEXA scans. So there's that. How about that? I can't even see my 30s from here because I'm long past that stage. I'm in my 60s. Ah! Yay, Sydney. Yes. Okay. All right, Sydney, let's give her some confetti. We love that. Okay. Sydney, very good. And I love that you're not shy about saying that. We got to embrace that age. I'm sure you're looking fabulous. And if you're not, your picture is representing. I always think Rigo, fancy smancy when I see your profile pic. All right. So Lynn is doing great. Did you hear that, Lynn? People are giving you some Nora, I don't know why I'm saying Norma. Probably because Norma has been in here and all in my comments. She's on my post every day. So I don't know why I'm saying that because I know you are Nora. How are you? What have you been doing? We did miss you. Okay. So she said, Sydney, glad to have someone to rock. Yes. Cookie. And I'm telling you, not for nothing. Now, I don't know what 60 should look like, but I just know Cookie is, doesn't look like she's in her 60s either. I actually met her in person. I know those dimples are dimpling. So there's that. But yeah, so I think we got to embrace our age. I think we do. And we love that. Grant 41. We love that, Grant. Sydney, I'm not sure why I had you at 30. My older niece is 30 and y'all have the same name. I don't know why. It's so funny. And once Mel is on the idea, you can't tell her different. Oh, we love that. Okay, so Nora says I have some housing issues on my schedule. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm about to try to have my bathroom remodeled. My second bathroom downstairs, my guest bathroom. So let's see how much this is going to set me back and how this is going to go. I'm more nervous about folks being up in my house having to do the work. So good luck with everything you got going on with that. I'm so glad to see you. You and everybody else in here has made my day. Yes, I'm aware. Just wondering if and how people are dealing with it. Okay. Oh, wait, I forgot what you were saying. I'm sorry. Oh, bone density. Okay. Is anybody dealing with bone density in here? I don't know. That's one of the things that I hear people saying that they know, but again, a lot of people probably don't even know. I'm gonna call you Miss Nature. Are you a Miss or a Mister? I'm gonna call you Nature because I don't know. Mitchy Nature, Mitchy. How about that? Jeez Louise. I'll have to have Mel spell this out for me. Jeez Louise. Okay, so Mel says my bone density is good. Thank God. That's another reason why I lift weights. Yes. Now, are you lifting weights, Mitchie? She said, I knew there was a reason we related, Cookie. Yes, I have good muscle mass and lifestyle, but still worried about it. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you're doing the right things, I think you'll be fine. 51 and feeling good. I know that's right. You're looking good too. I'm glad you feel good. Christy and I are 6 months apart. She just turned 41 in June. Grant, you've known your wife since kindergarten. I mean, geez, Louise. Okay, so I'll have to give you some. I hope this operation doesn't come down. Your wife is a beauty too. I'm going to give you some confetti and let's give you some applause. Wow. Jeez, Louise, we love that. What a love story you guys have. I love that. Jeez, Louise. Okay. All right. So Shawnee is looking good. Bev is back and she says, I'm back from my meeting. 60s look like me. Yes, which is fabulous. And I am 63. That profile pic was taken in February. I always say, not too bad for an old girl. We just need to take this weight off. You know what, Bev? I'm telling you, you have been fabulous since the day we met. Which is on YouTube. But Bev and I mean, Bev, you are just fabulous. I mean, just to talk to her, we talk on the phone and, we catch up like we're old friends, right? That we just haven't missed a beat. Those are the kind of friends I love. It's like you do you, I'm doing me. But when we talk, we're going to catch up. And Bev is just fabulous. She is just all things fabulous. I just love that. So you keep it going. You look great. Just feeling good. This should be the goal at this point. Feeling good and having good laughs. I love that. But yeah, taking off weight is going to help with that. But stick in there. Stick in there. Shay, all right. I'm still 28 in my head. That's right. I think it all depends on your perspective. For sure. And not for nothing, when I was Grant's age at 41, I thought 50 was old. Remember 50 used to seem so old. Now that I'm 53, turning 54, I just feel like I'm like midlife. Like I feel like I'm in like the first chapter, the first 50 is over, and now I'm on the second half. And it's kind of like I don't feel bad about my age. I know a lot of us don't, but society will make you feel bad about aging, right? Because it's like everything is like the young kids, the young people, but not for nothing. Like my daughter she'll even say like all the best music. She's like, Mom, she listens to some of this music and I'll say like, oh, that was a remake of this song. And when she hears the song, she's like, well, you guys probably did have the best music because they're remaking all the music. And isn't that true? Haven't you like loved a newer song and then when you really thought about it or found out, you're like, that was the old OJs that they just remixed, or that was the old Shania Twain that they remixed her little bridge and they added a nice hit beat to it. And even the gospel music is like that. Even the gospel music, they're taking some of the mainstream music and they're making it into gospel music. And I love that if the message is going to get through that, God is good. And, we love God. We want to praise God. So I don't care how they do it. as long as that message is in there. So yeah, it's just everything. I think our generation I'm telling you that if you're in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and I would even say 50s and 60s even, I think we've had some of the best music because we were what, like the 80s and 90s, so some of the best music out there. Okay, so Shawnee, you just had a DEXA. I love that. Okay, all right. Okay, so you're 60. Oh, okay. You said I'll be 60 in February. You said don't age me, Diva, this fast. I'll be 60 in February. So as of February 2026, you started your countdown. Oh, we love that for you. Very good. Okay. Now are you're documenting some of this on your cruise channel, I think. Look how good you look. Jeez, Louise. Okay, I love that. I love that for you. Very good. You're like 60. I'm on my countdown to wellness. Okay, so Bev says she had her bone density test and her endocrinologist said her bone density was great a year ago. I wasn't, but I am in the green now. Very good. I love that. Bev, go Bev, go Bev. See, that's a non-scale victory that, people don't see. You won't know that stuff unless you get your labs checked out. I mean, Grant, that's amazing. Amazing. Now I'm going to look at you guys even different when I come to your live stream. I'm going to look at you guys like, oh my gosh, with my eyes are going to have hearts in them. You're not going to see it though. Okay, Nora said, I saw an interview with Shania Twain and she said she finally figured her life out in her 60s. It took her until then. And I could see that because I really think, I'm at the stage in my life. I said, I've always like had a goal to just like help people, be kind. I'm one of those people like I take up with the underdog of the situation. And I said, I'm gonna stop doing that because sometimes that's got me on the wrong team. Right? Going with the underdog. I've always liked to like help people. And I feel like now that I was normal, my job led me to helping people naturally, right? But now that I'm not in my job, it's like, I wonder how I'm going to feel about that. And people have tried to get me to run for school board president. Somebody's tried to get me to run for the mayor of my city. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to have peace, like peace of my own peace. You know what I'm saying? Like I mind my business. I protect my peace. And I tell you guys, I've had so many sleepless nights with knowing that it was tragedy and things going on with some of the kids I was teaching. I'm just kind of just want to kind of move on from that. And, when you work, it's hard to like separate work from, caring for kids and family. So I'm just kind of like looking forward to the freedom of but YouTube has become that for me, actually. I'm talking with people, helping people, relating to people. When I'm talking about, research is telling you to do this or that or sharing strategies like that, all is helpful to me. When I'm, getting to know people and learning people, all of that is helpful to me. There are really no people, you can learn from everybody. Have you ever met somebody and you thought they don't have a lot going on upstairs? But you can learn from those people too. I mean, everybody is good at something, and you might not be the most intelligent person, but maybe you are very artistic. Maybe you are a good organizer. Maybe you're good with putting clothes together, being a fashionista. Maybe you're good at, YouTube, so everybody is good at something. And I think that's the best thing I can bring to this YouTube situation is everybody is good at something. Now, you might have content that I don't like. You might be doing some messy stuff that I don't like, but there's always good in people. Like I like to find the good in people, and everybody is good at something. And sometimes I see people on out in these YouTube streets, and I say, like, gosh, if only they were doing this, if only they did that. I had tons of ideas, but who am I going around giving people ideas? I need to be using that on my own channel. Give myself my own ideas. But yeah, I think to myself like, oh, it's a way you can help people. So, so maybe I'll take my helpful skills and my nurturing heart to YouTube. So I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I just know I am glad to be here. I'm glad to be feeling good. I'm glad that God has let me see chapter 54, and actually I'm not there yet, so let's pray I make it to the chapter 54. So we're going to be celebrating all this on Wednesday. So Wednesday's live. It's not, I will have something prepared, but it's just going to be real light, real friendly. We're going to have a game. So if you're planning on coming, bring 2 devices because you're going to need them for this little game. And we're just going to chat, and I'm going to show some pictures that I haven't showed yet, of how I used to look in the past. So it's, it's like, and I don't have a lot because I wasn't taking a lot of photos. So I'll share what I did what I'm doing for my birthday. I'll show you my cake. And then we're just going to have fun. We're going to talk about you, a little bit about me and a lot about you. So I will see you guys. We've been on this live for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you for joining me. I may come back on Monday. So, Sydney asked that. Thank you for asking, Sydney. I may be here Monday. I don't know, but I think Mondays are a great day to just kind of have some coffee, cheers, and start our week. So you guys have a blessed week. I would say do something positive, do something good for yourself, and do something good for somebody else. Like, if I always feel when I do something for somebody else, I always feel good. And I do a lot of stuff for other people. I just don't say it. And so I think that's even better. You don't say it. That means you really meant to do it. So yeah, do that. So if somebody's not doing great things for you, you keep doing great things for somebody else, and it's going to come back tenfold. That's what I know to be true. So thank you, all the newbies that came in. Join me on Wednesday at 8:30. Come back next week. I think I might be back next week at 9:30 a.m. on a Monday, but I'm not sure. So we will see. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you to the best mods. I love you guys. Thank you for coming in. I know people had to work. I appreciate it. Bye. See you on Wednesday.